Lloyd did a 2:49.7, so that means that at the end of qualifying, Will Gollop will go away from here tonight with fastest time of the day, but the two-wheel drive track record for the 2:42.7 of Trevor Reeves remains intact. In fact, no one has really approached it, in all fairness, and so with the winter months coming on, it looks fairly certain back with the SBC lads, and Paul Haslip on the front row there this time. I do love the name of the company that remains. The lead, that once again goes to number 10, Trevor Sharp. And Trevor Sharp it is in the lead from Paul Haslip in second place, with Trev Orman, I think, coming through to dispute that, and 26 Trevor Orman now moving up into second ahead of Paul Haslip. And again, a nice little battle going on between the two mini drivers for the lead of their category. And once again, it's the Martin Walter car of Mike Lee with the upper hand of the Invicta Trucks entry of Rob Bignell. But Rob tucked in very close there behind the Canterbury boys. They go up the hill in 4th and 5th positions. Then comes Nigel Watts. And then Steve Brooks with Keith Fishenden bringing up the rear. But up front, it's still the Will's Garage entry of Capel motor engineer Trev Sharp. In the lead from Seismic Survey man from Ashford, Trev Oram, and the SBC cars with their tyres screaming a little bit come down to fling them right onto the loose of the Paddock Bend area as they go away. Mike Lee tucked right in there behind Paul Haslip's Escort, trying to find a way through with the multicoloured mini that he drives, but he can't do so, and behind him he has to watch because there comes Rob Bignell very fast up behind, and Rob Bignell there at one stage looking as though he might be going to take 4th place away from Mike Lee, but meantime up front we've got number 10 Trevor Sharp in trouble. Trevor Sharp pulling off to retire, and it might be a suspension bottle on the front. I can't really see from this angle, but that has now put Trevor Oram into the lead. Mike Lee now into second place ahead of Paul Haslip. Then comes moving up the field Nigel Watts, ahead now of Rob Bignell, who's dropped back into 5th position, but still second in class. Then comes Keith Fishenden and Stephen Brooks completing the order. But the new leader now, following the retirement of Trevor Sharp, who's just climbed out of his car safe and well on the bank down here below us. The new leader now, Trevor Orman, number 26, but Mike Lee sensing not only victory in his category, but victory in this race. And Mike Lee then from Canterbury moving to have a look on the Ashford boys. Still in 3rd place is Paul Haslip's Pinto engined Escort. Then comes the similar car of Nigel Watts, and then Rob Bignell in the second of the inning. Folks, we've just changed our microphone. Is there any difference in what's coming out? Anyway, a new microphone. Still the same race. And still the same voice on the other end of it, I'm afraid. And, I think it's a battery problem that we've got, so we'll continue with this microphone for a bit. But it's 26 Trevor Orman in the lead from 34 Mike Lee as they go through the chicane and away down into distance for the last time, I think it is, or is it not? Number 8, Paul Haslip, still in 3rd place. Rob Bignell, who's dropped way down the order now, for still in 5th position, but a long way back, coming under the clutches of a very determined Keith Fishenden there as the checkered flag comes out, and it's going to be victory for number 26 Trevor Orman, and in his final. The D final will be over 4.5 laps. So as will the B with the last race of the afternoon, the A final, over 5.5 laps. So back to the SBC category, where we see that only 2 cars from the small group have come through. Stephen Brooks and Mike the red flag being waved merrily after the cars left the line. Keith Fishenden has made what you might term a rolling start. Well, Is this going to be allowed to continue? The red flag has now vanished, and it does look as though it is, as Trevor Sharp and Mike Lee are side by side down the Dover slope, with Trevor Orman now in very close connection. It's 10:34.26. Then out of the gap to number 8, Paul Haslett, then number 12, Nigel Watts, with number 6, Stephen Brooks, and then the man who had the flying start, number 9, but somebody's in trouble just round the corner there. Whom have we lost? Whom have we lost? I think it's the escort, surely, of Nigel Watts, number 12, who's come to grief. I can't see for a group of rather interested spectators there at the moment, but I think that's the car that has come to grief, number 12, Nigel Watts, who has not reappeared from around the back end of the Devil's Elbow. Meantime, the race does indeed continue with Trevor Sharp from... Trevor Sharp from Trevor Orman. Yes, the two Trevors up there. Number 6, Steve Brooks. Number 9, Keith Fishenden. And it is indeed number 12, Nigel Watts, whom we have lost. Or is it number 8, Paul Haslett as well we've lost? Surely Paul Haslett has also gone. And number 26, meantime, Trevor Orman is doing his utmost to get out of this race, but he's back in it again. Meanwhile, that's a very lonely third place as Keith Fishenden comes up to have a look at the imp of Steve Brooks and goes through on the inside of Steve Brooks round the elbow. Meantime, up front, it's still quite a battle between the two respective leaders of the two groups. The Martin Walter East Kent Vehicles entry of Mike Lee and the Wills Carriage of Folkestone entry of Trev Sharp. And Trevor is who's still in the lead, but young Mike Lee really is in there having a go. And the little 1300 mini hanging on very well indeed to this 2-litre escort, with much improved drive coming this time also from of rallycross. This only his second exploit into it. Plummer from Camden in London, as the Capel Garage mechanic leads the Canterbury version on first and second places there. Mike Lee really sharp. Then comes Trevor Orman, safely reinstated in third place. Keith Fishenden in fourth. Now well clear of number 6, Stephen Brooks. Down the hill comes Trevor Sharp, pulling out a little bit of a lead down that fast section. Onto the loose and throwing it very, very sideways indeed. And Mike Lee making up ground hand over fist with a much tighter and cleaner line through the corner. Mike with his head down in a very determined mood, hanging on in there behind the escort as they go down into Chessons for the last time. Trevor Orman, a very lonely third place. But the checkered flag is coming out, and so are the two leaders off of the Chessons Drift area, down the Dover slope, and the power of the escort cell at second overall and winning the small car category there, the Martin Walter Mini of Mike Lee in third place. Then in fourth position will be the imp, because we've got Keith Fishenden in troubles in the very last corner, his car about to expire upon